Hi, I'm Dan.
I'm Sarah.
This is the Hate Locker Podcast, a podcast where we talk about the trivial things that we all hate with a passionate yet fair vigor.
Do you know what I hate right now? That Mom and Dad still have a home phone and it's ringing upstairs.
We're okay. Okay, listeners, before we get into it, Sarah and I are back. We're back doing not an episode that we recorded 3 months ago. We're doing this is it right now. You're hearing this like 4 days before it came out, and we are back in the basement. We are back in our parents' basement.
Just like old times.
Recording so that because of babysitting needs, it's like COVID all over again. I'm triggered. We're back in our parents' basement, and joining us today is none other than hilarious comedian Noor Kidwai is with us today. Hey, Noor, how the hell are you doing, man?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me, guys.
Hey, Noor.
We're fun.
This is fun. I noticed Noor just friended me on Facebook, and I'm going to irritate the fuck out of you by the end of tonight. You're probably going to mute me.
No, you've made a terrible mistake.
Heads up.
You're just going to, keep sending me shit posts online. That'll be pretty nice.
I got kittens. I got an 11-year-old. I got mom memes.
Oh, okay.
I got all sorts of shit going on.
It's pretty bad.
Oh, all right.
I'm prolific. I'm a prolific Facebook poster.
It's a hellish nightmare. What's going on with you, man? I know that during the lockdown, you took to making hilarious videos. Particularly one in particular went pretty viral. Do you want to tell us about it? Because it's very fun.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I don't know. I was bored, right? I think we were all pretty bored. So I think I needed a creative outlet, and I'm a huge hockey fan. So I don't know. I really just wanted to make a couple funny videos with hockey, and I did the first one of those Hitler memes. I don't know if you remember that guy.
Yeah, it's the one where Hitler is yelling at everybody because the war's not going right, and people were you just dubbed over it. You just added subtitles to it. Is that right?
Yeah, it was great because it was just about the NHL announcing that they're coming back with 24 playoff teams instead of 16, and Hitler was just pretty mad that there was 24 teams.
As he would be, as he should be,
as he should be, and that one actually did really well, and I think I got about 100,000 views on that, and then I made that one. The next one was that Rista meme. That's where that guy's laughing his ass off. But I made that one about NHL picking Edmonton as one of its hub cities. So
that was the one that absolutely destroyed me. It's the one with the Spanish guys can't even talk and he's laughing so hard, and it's him describing oh man, we're 2 seconds into the show. We're doing verbal memes already. I love it.
It's good times.
It's good to be back.
It's good audio.
The dude is just trashing the city of Edmonton so hard, and it's fantastic. We will get it up on social media.
No, we won't.
No, we will. Sometimes we do.
Rare, maybe once we have.
That's fair enough. How's everything going? Are you in Calgary right now?
Yeah, so I just came back to Calgary, and I did a amazing hike through the mountains in BC this last weekend, and just waiting, and I'm going to start doing shows out here, and just going to stay at home. I'm from Calgary, so I'm just going to stay at home for the month, and I don't know, the lockdown's completely changed my plans of everything, so I'm just kind of playing it by ear and seeing how things are kind of opening up.
Yeah, fair enough. I definitely get that. It definitely changed my path as well. What kind of how did it affect you the most?
Oh, just doing shows every single night.
Did you get shows canceled? Did you get some pretty good shows canceled? Fuck you.
Oh yeah, I was supposed to film a thing for the Winnipeg Comedy Festival this month.
Oh, just a casual little thing you were just going to film
biggie.
for the... Yeah, that sucks, man.
Yeah, so I don't know, they still want me to do it. They're they just keep moving the dates up, and I'm pretty sure they're basically doing the same thing, just waiting to see when they can get enough people in a theater to film this thing, right?
Yeah, fair enough. There's shows happening here in Victoria, and most of them are pretty sparsely attended, and you're doing it from behind plexiglass, and it's very strange.
It's incredibly strange, especially the plexiglass. I don't know.
yeah.
Sarah, do you do comedy as well?
No, just this.
Yeah,
Just my just
Okay.
my regular life.
Sarah's just a hateful bitch. We used to do the show with comedian Chelsea Liu, and she left when she moved cities. And I pondered about who I should replace her with. And I realized that the answer was in front of me all along.
Plus, I was the butt of many jokes on this podcast
Yeah.
prior
Oh,
to
damn.
me.
Yeah, she's like,
You're a good sport, at least, it sounds
Well,
like.
I'm something. No, I get to educate young minds.
yeah, she's a fucking teacher,
I'm
which
not-
is gonna upset
not
you.
a
Well, not a
teacher.
teacher, but yeah, an EA,
An educational assistant.
right? Yeah.
An education, what does that mean?
It means I don't get enough money for what I do. Just give some extra help where it's needed. So
Oh.
that's my hell next week.
Yeah,
anyway.
most
It is what it
definitely.
is.
So for us, I mean, mostly what we've been doing for the last bit is podcasting, obviously, and you're podcasting too. You have a podcast that actually, I mean, we're not doing a big launch yet, but I don't think it's bad to mention that you're now actually coming onto our Comedy Here Often network to join us.
Well,
with
that's
your
exciting.
podcast, God, Yay or Nay.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the team, dude.
Welcome.
Hey, thank you. I'm glad to be on board. This is gonna be awesome. I'm freaking really excited.
Yeah, well, I mean, we can get right into this and we can do some topics here.
Are you going first?
Yeah, I will go first. It's funny because I think you covered what I'm going to talk about on your podcast. I think you did an episode on this. Your podcast is tell us about your podcast before we get into this.
Okay, well, so it's called God, Yay or Nay, and basically the main point of the show is like I try to get people on and talk about like self transformation, like how they change themselves for the better. I talk a lot about addiction, mental illness, spirituality. I love like meditation and psychedelics, so those are like big themes in my podcast as well. And I like to talk to comedians and then just people from like every walk of life. I like to get like a lot of authors and stuff like that as well, right?
Yeah, it's great. I really, really enjoy it. I think the episode actually that it, connects with what I wanted to talk today about. I think you had somebody on from like a safe injection site. Does that sound right?
Yeah, sort of. Like there is a guy I had on. He's from Vancouver East Side, and he helps people get off of opioids. And like heroin and stuff, which I guess is an opioid.
Definitely. It's like the opioid. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So like he helps people get off of this, but he uses this thing called iboga, which is like a really potent psychedelic, but it like completely takes away the morphine addiction. So like. Yeah. So like this completely takes away people's withdrawals, which is like the hardest thing to deal with if you're like addicted to those substances, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So they
Who
take
was
this
it?
fucking
Sorry.
like psychedelic and they're high for like almost 36 hours, and but when they come out of it, their withdrawal is completely gone, and
Wow.
it has such a high rate of getting people off of this stuff. So he works for an organization that it was legal, but now it's illegal again, this thing called Iboga. So he's working for this thing to get it legalized.
Wow, that's good. Well, now there's no better time than now to try to be getting something like that legalized.
Right? The crisis we're in BC
Well,
anyway.
This is it, and this is my topic. My topic is people who are anti-harm reduction, or more like the anti-harm reduction narrative.
Get your shit together.
Yeah, why don't you just fucking quit? Just why don't you just
I
stop?
hate
Make better
that
life
mindset
choices.
so much.
Yeah, and it gets to the point where people are being dehumanized in general. So the reason why this got sparked, I've been sort of on about this for a bit on the old internet, as we do, and somebody I know who is in a 12-step program with me, because I am myself in a 12-step program, as you probably know that if you listen to this podcast. Guy goes on and posts this article about how dangerous harm reduction is. And for those of you who don't know what harm reduction is, it's basically the idea of a safe supply allowing not it's like basically the decriminalization of drugs, not locking people up for using drugs, but instead trying to make sure people can use safely. So
safe injection sites.
Yeah, safe injection sites. That
Supervised.
The whole line of thinking of supervised injections, especially, which has never been more important because I don't know if you are from outside of British Columbia or living in the United States, which many of our listeners are. We have crazy issues with tainted drug supplies with fentanyl here in BC, in Vancouver especially. The overdose numbers are like more than 10 times the amount of COVID
there was
deaths.
over 300 last month alone.
Yeah, it's the deaths are just the death toll is
stupid.
It's
Yeah,
staggering. It's absolutely staggering. So the idea for harm reduction is to allow people to use, because people are going to use. It doesn't matter if it's illegal or not. People are going to use drugs. They're drugs. People are addicted to drugs. I don't know if you've ever tried drugs, but they're fucking awesome, and people are going to keep using.
I heard they do the trick. The trick.
They'll get you through the day
and
the night, and sometimes even a couple days after that, and more nights.
I wonder, has anybody ever tried heroin? They're like, it just wasn't my thing.
Well, actually, I mean, I did.
Okay, that's good.
Luckily, I was kind of like, wow, that was fucking awesome. I should never do that again.
Yeah, that's good. That's
yeah,
good.
that was I think I was like 21 years old. I'm definitely going to have to do as Alexi on the Comedy Here Often podcast says, do a mom edit for this one. Mom, hey, Mom, if you're listening, earmuffs. I did heroin one time. Oh, also, we're in their basement and the door's open, so there's a good chance she just heard that in real time.
Also, my 11-year-old is upstairs who may also have heard that.
Yeah,
so
yeah, right on. We're off to a hot start. Cool, let's burn this family to the ground. So this guy posts this article on Facebook that's like, this is dangerous. This is not the right thing to do. What people need to be going to treatment and rehab, and that's the only answer. And I hate it. I hate this answer so much. It's such a typical, privileged point of view. Like, there's a lot of people in the programs who did go to rehab and treatment. There's a lot of people who didn't. Not everybody can afford $10,000 to $30,000 a month. To go to rehab. In fact, most people cannot. And it just doesn't make sense. And then somebody underneath, first comment on there says, I'm going to catch a lot of flack for this.
Which,
off to a hot start.
So
you might as well be like, I don't mean to be racist, but you know what I mean? Like,
no, that's exactly the same thing.
Yeah. So he's like, I'm going to catch a lot of flack for this, but in my experience, once a junkie, always a junkie. First of all, call me a junkie again, and I'll slap the taste out of your mouth. Not really. I'm actually quite weak as a person. I'm not going to slap the taste out.
I'll fuck him up.
Yeah, that's right. My sister's much tougher than me. So he goes, once a junkie, always a junkie. And he goes, let's thin the herd. Right?
So it's okay. Oh
it's
my
okay
God, I
to
don't know
just
where to
kill
start.
people.
Where
do I start? I just said, wow, yeah, you should. What I said was, you should catch a lot of flack for that. It's absolutely disgusting. And he said, you're entitled to your opinion. I'm entitled to mine. I'm like, absolutely not. This is dehumanizing.
That's not
people. Why don't you talk to a Jewish person about this and see how they respond?
To thinning the herd.
Thinning the herd. Like, this is fucking crazy rhetoric, right? From like,
it's so bad.
But it's like, so I'm in a Facebook group that makes me irate on an hourly basis.
Is it just called Facebook and it's your general feed?
It is my general feed, but there's this group and it's called. It's called.
What is it? What's it called?
It's called What the Hell's Happening, Victoria.
Oh, it's so bad.
It's so bad, but for traffic, it's kind of handy. Like, if you're going
That's not
somewhere,
a good trade-off. Not a good trade-off.
And I try not to. Don't let me finish.
No, absolutely not. Do you know what Waze is? Do you know what Google Maps is? Do you know what even, God forbid, Apple Maps in a pinch? All of these things will tell you what traffic is without the racism, bigotry, homophobia.
So I don't read the comments. I generally don't read the comments. I just scan the posts. But then somebody posted something and it was really bad. So obviously I fucking weighed in because I can't help myself. And the comment below mine said, It was a guy who was locked in a bathroom somewhere and he was freaking out. And somebody said, just slide some fentanyl under the door and that'll solve the problem. And I went,
man.
So then I couldn't stop. I'm like, are you so murder? That's your answer to this is murder.
Yeah.
You want to murder this human being. Anyway,
because they don't see them as human
everything
beings.
went to shit. And
Man, I bet you read those comments.
oh yeah,
I love how you just said I don't read the comments. What a bald-faced lie. There's no.
I'm trying. It's bold-faced lie to start with.
Hold on.
Sounds like you read a couple comments there.
Yeah, hold up. Is it bold-faced lie?
Yeah, not bald, you dumb fuck.
You guys.
Did you say bald-faced lie?
Yeah, I did.
Bold.
I've been saying bald-faced lie for like my whole life.
You're dumb.
Oh,
no,
wow.
I am dumb.
I might have to agree with Sarah there. I think you might be dumb.
That doesn't even make sense.
It makes no sense. I've been saying bald-faced lie. I think I've typed it out.
No.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Oh,
you're
this is
so
tough.
Dumb.
I gotta
Did
look.
you put that on a resume? Like, I'll never
Yeah,
tell you
yeah,
a
yeah,
bald-faced lie.
It's on my resume. What? I promise you that none of this is a bald-faced lie. I'm a good worker. WURKOR. I'm a good worker. Holy shit.
Man.
Anyway,
But honestly, on that addiction, harm reduction topic, because this is one thing I am pretty like passionate about, and like I think it like society we need to find a way to like actually look at like addicts, right? And it has to be like with more of like understanding of like what addiction is, because people think it's like a lack of like the person's like willpower, which it's not. Like there's so much now like studies out there where like addiction is like something that like happens through a lot of like trauma like somebody's experienced in the past, and like to even like go into that trauma, it takes time, it takes work and effort, and like it's a process to get people out of addiction. And if I think if like we actually like had society looking at it from that lens, like that's when we'll start seeing like better programs of like getting people out. And like that's why I love working with like this guy that like I was just talking about who works with Iboga. It's like these kind of people who are trying to like make those kind of changes, right?
Yeah. Anything that will help like that. Well, this is the thing that people don't understand. They're like, what they it's very short-sighted, right? Like you think, okay, so we're just letting these people do drugs now. We're just letting them do whatever they want. Well, the thing is that if you just lock them up in jail, nothing happens. If you just take away their drugs, they die. They get sick, and also what happens is they commit crimes. People are committing crimes in order to get the drugs because they're illegal. They can't just buy them. That's what's going on. But the thing is that if you allow people safe places to use and a safe supply, you're saving their lives. So first of all, nobody is going to get better if they're dead. So that's not going to work if you're just letting people die. No one has a chance. You have no chance if you're dead, obviously.
No, every part of it is just like you arrest them, you give them a criminal record, then you send them back out on the street, which is like you're just kind of almost like putting them in a position where they're just going to end up using again. Like the whole cycle is just stupid.
It promotes lying, manipulating. It promotes it just promotes criminal activity. That's what it promotes. And so if instead you give people drugs that are clean, that are not going to kill them, and give them a safe place to use in front of people who are supervising, the people who are supervising are people who care, who view these people as human beings, which they are. And it puts drug users one step closer to getting the help that they need, that then maybe gets them into a program that sends them to treatment or rehab. I do believe in treatment and rehab. I think they work great. I don't think it's a bad thing, but people don't just go from the downtown east side of Vancouver or Detroit or wherever you are straight into rehab. They just you need to have a middle step, and the middle step is the safe consumption. The middle step is harm reduction. If you're being honest with yourself, if you're being honest, people are going to use drugs. And so what's a better way to deal with it? To put our head in the sand and be like, you should just stop, you're a problem? Or is it better to allow them the opportunity to get closer to help? Like what?
Oh.
Or say, what can I do to help?
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
People who
that's the perfect like attitude you want. What can I do to help?
Absolutely.
I do think attitudes are slowly
Yeah.
changing. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot more understanding about trauma brain and how it affects people. I don't know. I definitely think that addicts are less stigmatized than they were. It's definitely not good, and it's not where it needs to be. But I do think the tides are slowly.
Yeah, like when
I 100% think that's true. Yeah.
I do too, and like I mean, when I told people that I was an alcoholic and that I needed help and that I got nothing but support. There was not anybody who was like fucking pussy or any of that shit.
You
or
also
like,
have a functional family.
Yeah,
and
but
there
I'm not
many
just,
addicts that
for
don't have a functional family.
I'm not just talking about my family so much as like everyone I know.
Well, that's good.
And which is, I mean,
Well, you were a bit of a fucking train wreck there for a while.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. But I mean, the thing is that the people think that addicts are not human, and that they're just these assholes who like, well, you should have made better decisions. I used to party and I didn't end up an addict. I quit when I had my kid or whatever, and like that's like quite often the argument, and people don't see it as a disease, and I get it because I mean before I went in to my 12-step program and whatnot, I didn't really think it was a disease. I was like, what? How can drug use be a disease? That doesn't make any sense. People are just using drugs, and then I learned that that's not what it means. The disease part is the mental illness part of it is, to me, it's that missing connector piece. It's that like piece inside me where I don't feel connected to anything. And I was like that since I was a kid. Like I just didn't, I just sort of lived my life through other people's eyes. Like I just always was projecting this version of myself that I think others want me to be. And I don't have any, I'm born like that, man. Like I was like a little kid and I didn't have any sense of self. It's not even that I didn't love myself or I hated myself. I just didn't even occur to myself. So in that sense, I'm totally self-centered while also completely oblivious to myself at the same time, if that makes sense. Because I'm constantly living my life trying to, as I'm this thing that I need to control so that other people will value me so that I can find value. But also I'm not taking, hey, what do I need for myself into account is what I'm trying to say. So so living my life like that creates an atmosphere where I, like if I can't love myself, I can't see, if I don't think I have any value from myself, I don't see why anyone else would either. So because we see what we see what we reflect from ourselves. So it breeds this atmosphere where I start embellishing, lying, manipulating, like just by nature. Every single addict I know most addicts I know are similar, have a similar story to that.
100%.
And I don't know, like, I'm trying to get to the bottom of like where that comes from or whatever. Cause I mean, we were raised really, we had a great childhood. Our parents are awesome, but the trauma comes from, I guess the lesson here is you're going to fuck your kids up no matter how good you are.
And it might just be one of the three.
Yeah, maybe wait. 1 out of 3 ain't bad though. I have 2 sisters, so 1 out of 3. If you're listening, mom and dad, you did great.
2/3. So that's more than half.
Honestly, though, trauma is like could be in like so many different kind of forms. Like it might not even be from like something that happened in your childhood.
For
like,
sure.
Like that's the thing. Like we don't even understand it too much. Like. But we do understand that there is like people who have these kind of different, they just respond differently to different situations for whatever reason. And like a lot of times, like they have types of trauma they can actually like see and like actually comes from like memories and stuff like that happened or experiences. But sometimes it's like trauma that might have been passed on in like different ways. It's that's the kind of thing, like, there's just so much more to learn about this stuff.
Yeah, like every single little incident shapes who you are. Like, it's wild how that works. Sorry, go ahead.
There's even studies that say, like, traumatic births can affect you your entire life. Like while you're born, as you're coming into the world.
How the hell do any of us function at all?
We don't.
Anything? Like, what a nightmare, man. Get me out of here. So I guess
you're all fucked, basically.
So
we're all fucked.
So when I live like that, and I'm living like that for like 30 years, and then you include, because when you find, the point is that you don't really have a true identity. And then when I find drugs and alcohol, that sends me off like a rocket. And I'm like, oh, that's my identity. I'm the guy who parties all the time. I'm the guy who's always having fun. You know what I mean? And then, until I don't know how to stop having fun. I don't like everyone wants to, people are going home and I'm like, what? No, I'm going to find other people to keep partying with. And this is how people end up on the streets. Like these people in the comment sections are not seeing as human beings. They need to understand what they're missing is that there's a piece missing, right? They're just seeing these people who live in a park in a tent, and they're not seeing that person was just like them at one point, and just doing their best and trying to cope with whatever they had in front of them. And you don't just decide one day to live in a park, usually. Usually what happens is it's a series of rationalizations and justifications that lead up to that. Like I'm like, oh, well, I drink, but I would never, do blow, without drinking. And then before you know it, you're like, well, I'm going to drink later, so I'll just pick it up now. And then you're doing it before you drink. And then you rationalize that because it's, logical and convenient. And then the next thing you know, you're like, well, I'd never pay for it. And then you're paying for it. And then you're like, well, I'd never use it by myself. But then other people, they never pay. And they're boring to be around. So, you just, one thing leads to another. And that's the mental illness of it, is that you don't realize how crazy you're going and you're rationalizing your behavior no matter how bad it gets. And then the drugs and alcohol just take over your brain like venom. And you're capable of living in a park. And to you, it just feels normal because you don't know that you're crazy.
And then you're in too deep.
And then you're in too deep. And that's what happens to these people. And I think that people don't see that. People just see like, oh, look, you just didn't stop using drugs. And now you live in a tent. Loser, get it together. And it's like, that's not it, right?
Yeah.
This is deep.
That's like it's a simple way of looking at it. And it's pretty sad.
Yeah, sorry. I guess I was bummed.
That was a bummer. That was a bummer.
Well, fucking, it's a bummer, man. I don't know. This shit's a bummer. It's not great,
This
right?
is supposed to be funny.
Honestly, we're all talking about it, so that's like something that's good because like that's honestly just how we kind of break out of this shit. It's like you're saying, I think people are now like already like taking the addiction a lot more seriously and like with more compassion and understanding, and like more conversations like that is just like how you keep moving in that direction, right?
Right, yeah, and like I don't even see, like I'm not even trying to bum anybody out. I think it's good for us to like understand, and I went through like my own journey until sort of going insane with this stuff, and I'm not bummed out about it. I'm not mad about it. It's just part of who I am. It's part of what I went through. I don't feel like that now. I don't feel like any of that stuff now. I feel great.
There's always going to be dumb fucks making comments. There's always going to be people thinking Tucker Carlson knows what he's talking about. It's always going to be fucking idiots.
It's always going to be racist.
So stop
morons.
reading the goddamn comments.
Yeah,
That's my mantra every morning when I get up. Okay, Sarah, you can do this. Don't read the fucking comments.
Yeah. So if you're out there and you think that it's a bad idea for us to be giving people a place to use, it's not what you think it is. It's much better. That person is getting help before they've even asked for help.
Or instead of judging, educate your fucking self.
Yeah, and my less polite sister would put it, educate your fucking self. That should be. You should get why don't you get t-shirts, wear that to school.
Educate your fucking self.
Educate your fucking self and then wear it to the elementary school that you work at.
That's a super way to keep your job.
Oh, for sure.
Hello, grade 3. Educate your fucking selves.
Oh man,
just kidding.
I've been getting into it hard on the comment sections the last few days.
Oh my god,
I can't.
Hate Facebooks.
Nor do you do that? Do you go into that?
That's one of my. That's kind of one of my gripes.
Oh yeah, let's do it. Let's move on to a new gripe. We're already 30 minutes in. It's gonna be a long one.
Much.
Oh shit,
I gotta make dinner.
Went hard on that one. Eh?
Yeah, well I did. Sorry about that.
Went a little deep.
Yeah.
Oh no, the passion. We could all feel it. All right. Mine is actually pretty much on that wavelength. because the one thing that really is annoying the hell out of me is like how social media, they basically like they have algorithms that they show you angry shit on purpose.
Yeah.
Just on your timeline, all the stuff, just because it keeps us online longer.
It's true.
And like that shit just blows my mind. I fucking how many times have you woken up in the morning and like the first post is like it has 3 likes and just like 800 comments and go like, this is gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna freaking watch all these people melt down.
I'm the one melting down.
Yeah, that's the thing is that I can't watch. I can't be a spectator because I'm not good at it. I'm like,
it brings you in. It like draws you inside there.
Yeah, man, it does. I don't know how you don't do it. I get what you mean, man. Is it the algorithms or is everyone just that mad? I find it to be.
No,
Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, like algorithms will actually like promote like they'll pretty much like how much each post actually gets seen. It kind of goes with like the emotions. So like the stronger emotions that you're hitting, and outrage is easily the strongest emotion. Outrage and anger. So like if you hit those emotions, the algorithm will show that post to more people.
Are you?
And this is like there's like a lot of people online now that are trying to like from big tech who've like quit Google. They've quit Facebook and they've just quit because they're just like, this is how this operating system works. So basically, and that's why, why do you think Trump's like freaking the best? Like he does exactly that, doesn't he?
Oh yeah.
He's fucking, and he gets like millions of retweets and shit just because he says like the most angry, hateful shit. And then he has 1,000 people who hate him who are freaking messaging back at him. But that's how a post gets seen by everybody.
I mean, that's how he got elected.
Exactly.
I run a small business off Facebook, and I have called a business Facebook account, and it tells me the engagements on all my posts, and the ones that are have the most engagements are the ones that get pushed to the top of my feed. Like I get a report every week telling me about the engagements and what people and it tells you it coaches you to do more posts like that to get more engagements.
So are you telling me that when forgive me my ignorance here, but I should have known this.
Should have guessed.
When I am pressing the angry emoji on things, it's going to show me more stuff that's going to piss me off?
I don't know if it'll if it's like directly linked to the emoji. I think it's directly linked to just like how it's kind of like how content's created and like now how people have figured out like how to play content to that. So like it's almost like all of our culture is getting pulled into more like outragey stuff. And like people are getting like almost conditioned to like put out more outrage because that's what gets rewarded, right?
Right. Totally.
The more engagement it has,
that gets the most engagement.
The more people see it.
Oh, I get it.
So
okay.
It's one of those like when they had that they had that anti-gay preacher in Victoria last week, and everyone was freaking out, and some people were saying, don't go. Just if he can't preach to no one.
Well, okay.
It's the same thing with Facebook. Like the more people that like it and give attention to it, the more people see it. So if you ignore it, then eventually it goes away.
Yeah.
And that's exactly, that's exactly it. That's why usually like shitty ideologies or just shitty like posts of people just being angry used to just like go away because no one gave a shit. But now it's like it's almost promoted and like people are kind of conditioned to do that now, and it's crazy.
People are like, I feed off it sometimes. I can get into that space where I'm like, I'm looking for a fight. Like I'm out there, I'm like, who am I gonna argue with on Facebook? I'll do the shit out of that.
Oh my God, it makes me so anxious.
It's another addiction. Like that's when you're feeling like shit, and you just like kind of like
endorphins.
I don't know. You just want to waste time. You just go on there and just start fucking going at people.
Yeah, it's about being in control of my feelings, whether they're good or bad. Like it doesn't matter if I'm happy or super mad, as long as I'm in control of them. That's what's important. Is kind of messed up, but I think that's true.
I do think that's true if you're not losing your cool.
Yeah, man. And so another thing that is like in the same line of what you are saying came up for me is when not companies, but like it happens here with, I think I think like local news channels and like local, like we have a thing here called Victoria Buzz. There's probably one in every town and every city, I'm sure. It's like a Facebook media outlet that just posts stories about Victoria, and they'll like post inflammatory stuff just to get people revved up. And I'm noticing, and I actually really like a lot of the people who work at our local radio station. In fact, one of them was our second guest ever on this podcast, Jason Lamb, and he's a friend. And
he's a friend of mine. We should have him back.
We should have him back, but he might not want to after I say what I'm about to say. They posted something, and I've seen them do this a few times. They're posting local stuff that's happening. Like there's a petition going through British Columbia right now to have schools have it be mandatory to teach things like teach things like a course about like white fragility, white privilege, what microaggressions are, what feminism is, like all that, like a lot of that stuff that is, to me, great. Start them earlier than
if you can find someone to teach it. Anyway, carry on.
Sure, yeah, that's a whole other thing. But so they posted this petition with just like, hey, what do you think of this? And of course, it's just like you said, like 100 angry emoji faces and 10,000 comments of white guys furious about it.
Lots of
just so much defensive white fragility. I'm just like I got all up in that comment section. I couldn't help it. It was first thing in the morning. And I just started responding. That's an insane take. That's ridiculous. What is wrong with you? Like, I'm like, why would you not want to teach your kids how to be empathetic and compassionate to other people's perspective? Why would you not want that?
All lives matter.
Well, yeah, exactly.
That's why. And
they're like, the big one is somebody said that my brain has been indoctrinated and whatnot, and like. Yeah, and I'm
little do they know anything about your brain.
One person said, microaggressions are a figment of my pretty little indoctrinated imagination, and I was like,
that's so condescending.
I responded with the GIF that says, "That's going to be a yikes from me, dog." But I mean, it's. Anyway, that's a whole other topic that I'm happy to talk about.
Nope.
But yeah, man. My point is that. What's my point? My point is that
no one knows anymore.
They put this thing on, and then no one is there to moderate it. Do you feel like it's kind of reckless of like a local radio station to just throw that meat to the wolves and then not?
No.
Like, do you think it's a thing where they're like, this is going to get a lot of attention for us?
That's 100% what it is.
That's exactly what it is.
Well, that's kind of messed up to make your listeners eat each other like wolves.
That's Noor's whole point.
No, that's my point.
That's
everyone's fucking, and they like this isn't just like something that happens like naturally. This is something that's actually like programmed into these like social media platforms.
Right.
And like, that's why, like, if you go online, you fucking feel the world is like going to shit in like every kind of way. And like, we all get fucking pushed into different groups of people and like end up all thinking like the same way as like a group. Like, it's our different echo chambers.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, it's super divisive. Like, that's like the
and
whole
super divisive, and it's like not good for any of us because we do become more hateful and bitter and more unsure of the future and more like pessimistic about the future. And like, I think all of those things can be bad for society and the culture. Right?
Absolutely. I mean, it's radicalizing us. I feel radicalized. Like I do. I feel
radicalized.
I'm fucking mad.
If you open
no, you guys, come on, no, not me.
If you open Facebook,
I'm loading an AK-47. You guys are talking about someone else.
Fucking psycho. If you open Facebook in your app and you look at the top story and then you pull it down and refresh it, a new top story is coming up. Like, it's not in sequential
No, I
order.
know that happened a long time ago.
I know, but I'm saying the more engagement your post has, the more likely it's going to be at the top of someone's news feed, and the more likely that and it's giving you publicity.
Have you guys listened to the podcast? I'm going to just shout out another podcast on our podcast.
Smart.
Have you? I know, right? Have you guys listened to? It's a series from the New York Times called Rabbit Hole.
No, that sounds like something that would really fits my day up.
I did listen to a little bit of that one.
Well, so in the first episode, they're interviewing a guy who radicalized to the right because of YouTube and then figured out
Zeitgeist?
No, and then figured out why. And then figured out it was when YouTube first came out with their algorithms to like keep people watching. I didn't. First of all, let me just start by saying I didn't know what YouTube really was. Like I missed YouTube. Like it went past me somehow.
He was in MySpace.
I never really got. I was busy in MySpace.
Friendster.
I was on Friendster. Me and Tom. No, but I didn't know that. Like I didn't understand that's kind of where algorithms came from. Like I didn't really.
You're learning so much.
No. I didn't understand that's where it started. I didn't understand that people spent days on YouTube just watching the next video that came up. I didn't know that was a thing.
Have you met my son?
No. Yeah. No, I haven't. So this guy, they interviewed this guy, and it's really interesting. And then they interviewed this other guy who works there, and they interviewed this dude. He is the guy who created the recommended playlist algorithm for YouTube.
Oh.
They interviewed this dude and he was like, yeah, it was great. It worked. People were watching like billions of hours a day on YouTube in like a day. And so the problem is that it showed you like videos of cats, right? If you're watching videos of cats, it just showed you more videos of cats. It's just showing this was groundbreaking at the time because it was like whatever 2010 or something.
I've fallen down that cat rabbit hole.
Who hasn't? Who among
Or
us?
laughing babies.
Yeah, big time. Anything with sloths. We've all been there. So he's got this issue where he's like, well, this is fine if it's cats, but what if it's like politics or like at the time it was the protests in Cairo was the example he used. He was like, if the first video that you watch is of the perspective of the police in Cairo, you're only going to get police videos. And if it's from the perspective of the protesters, you're only going to get those videos. And so people are literally just getting hooked on different tracks of information, and then you're just stuck.
100%.
So he was like, this is fine for cats, but this is going to cause problems. You guys, he tried to say to his work.
Did cause problems.
So then they told him not to pursue this. So in his own time, he made up another algorithm that actually gave you the opposite of what you're watching. It actually went back and forth between two things, and he presented it to them, and he's like, "Here, this will keep people watching just as long, but it won't create filter bubbles." And they fucking fired him. So now we have what we have, and that's how that all started. I learned that, and I'm like, holy shit, because it is really true. I mean, how many people do you know who are now obsessed with QAnon who seemed like they were smart people before? And are now
I've just unfriended them
now
on
think
Facebook.
that there is a celebrity pedophile ring because they're like they just got fed the wrong tube of information, and now you're just lost. You lost them.
It's so my
it's
husband's
wild.
stepsister is all over that on Facebook, and
Oh,
I can't
get
even
outta
engage. I can't engage anymore. I
my
can't
God.
engage anymore.
Oh yeah, it's bad. It's bad news.
It's like anybody who believes that Trump's fucking like gonna solve some pedophile ring.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Fellow comedian James Kennedy, who I love, posted on Facebook yesterday. He's like, yeah, the guy who created the Miss Teen USA bikini contest is out to solve pedophilia. Okay. Like, yeah. No doubt, eh?
Holy
I love how
fuck.
people think that he's like this dude who's out fighting for child trafficking. Don't people understand that guilty people often will like put themselves in the position of right in the middle of what they're guilty of, like how an arsonist returns to the scene of the crime.
It's Detective Work 101, really.
Yeah, so that they can seem like, oh, no one will ever suspect me. It's like dumb criminal 101. Perfect example. Breaking Bad, how Gus was friends with the cops.
I never watched that show.
That's another episode.
it was too
Perfect
much.
example. This is exactly it. Dude's guilty. Like,
You're
okay.
fired up today.
I am-
Holy
I am
fuck.
fired up.
You
I
need
woke
to
up-
take a deep breath there.
I woke up with the weight of the world on me
You
this
are
morning.
like you're.
I relapsed.
fucking- I don't even know what to say.
Okay. Anyway, I'm fully with you on this Noor, and obviously it's been working on me pretty well.
He's woke now though. So
Do you want to do a funny one? Or do you want to do your
let's
serious
do a funny
one?
one.
We can go back and forth. I just feel like maybe
this is too much. My serious one's a bit funny.
Yeah. Your serious one actually is a bit funny. Why don't you do your serious one? Are you okay to move on, Nor? Or do you have more?
Let's move on.
Right,
we're done. My serious hate is fucking CeeLo Green, dumb fuck.
It's a serious hate of CeeLo Green. You told me that, and I'm like, you're gonna have to explain why that's not trivial.
It's not trivial. Okay, I'm gonna have to back the truck up and actually maybe close the basement door because I'm gonna use some.
Because you're gonna say.
Because I'm gonna say.
Because you're gonna say wet ass.
I'm gonna
pussy
say
like
wet ass pussy approximately 3,000 times in the next 10 to 15 minutes.
Go ahead.
All right.
Nor rips his shirt off. All right, let's go.
Let's do this.
So I love Cardi B. Love her new song. Fuck you, CeeLo Green, who's come out with these ridiculous statements that she's like selling herself short and she doesn't need to talk like that to sell records. Mr. Accused of Rape, CeeLo Green.
She doesn't need to do that.
Accused of rape.
Doesn't need to do that to sell records. Mr. shows up like a golden goblin at a record
right? Like
award show.
So why is she selling herself short? And he can say whatever the fuck he wants, and no one says shit. The man, when he was with Gnarls Barkley, hang on, I'm pulling this up. I got my phone out. I did so.
She's I did some. Up. Now she's gonna be like, "You're fired up today," and she's like, "Let me go on a 10-minute rant about CeeLo Green."
I never do research, and then I did today, and I wrote down a whole bunch of notes, and then I had to drop something off at somebody's house and left my notes about wet ass pussy in the thing that I dropped off. So
you just left it in the thing you dropped off at someone's house?
Yeah.
Do you know this person?
Yeah, I do.
Are they going to think it's funny, or are they going to be like...
I did give her a heads up after I drove away. I was like, I got halfway. I'm like, fuck. And I pull over and text. I'm like, I left some kind of gross notes.
Because this is Sarah's has a side business where she sells things.
Like food. So I dropped off some spices at somebody's house with some...
with a bunch of notes about wet ass pussy.
Some notes about CeeLo Green and wet ass pussy in it.
Hun, the chicken's almost done. Could you pass me that wet ass pussy?
So CeeLo Green, when he was with Gnarls Barkley, had a song called Necromancer, where the words are very naughty necrophilia without a care. I'm compassionate about killing her. I'd have my way with what's left of the will in her. Are you fucking kidding me? And she can't talk about her wet ass pussy?
Why is that a CeeLo Green? Was that when
a song?
That's in his song called Necromancer.
Was that when he was in the band Korn?
Right? I know. It's so fucked up. He also tweeted that it isn't rape if the victim is unconscious.
Okay.
Like, oh my good Lord.
Whoa. That's true? Holy shit.
When did that happen?
When is this story
Why
from?
are we just hearing about it? You're breaking a
2014.
You're breaking a huge story.
He got he got off on the rape charges, but got found guilty of giving this chick ecstasy. And then she woke up naked in his bed, but he didn't do shit.
Yeah, right. He didn't do shit.
Just saying. So now he's all up on his fucking high horse talking shit about Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, who I think have a pretty fucking sweet song and a wicked ass video.
I did not know this about CeeLo Green. I hope he falls out of his chair when it spins around on The Voice.
Well, is he on The Voice?
Is he still on The Voice?
I don't think he's on The Voice anymore.
Oh my God. I was wondering. I was like, where the hell has CeeLo Green been in like 20 years? I haven't seen that guy forever.
Right? Well, I think
remember like a bunch of years ago, like 4 years ago, his phone blew up in his face. Remember his Samsung caught fire and blew up in his face.
It was God smiting him.
And then he wore that stupid ass gold helmet. And every year for a while, I was tweeting a picture of him in that gold outfit that just said, "Are we just gonna let CeeLo Green get away with like wearing this shit out in public?"
I think CeeLo Green got away with the alleged rape until he started fucking talking smack about Cardi B and her song, saying he didn't like it.
The song is great.
The song it's got fucking
for the record,
I love
wicked
it.
good beat,
fucking hot. And you know slaps absolutely.
Like, there's been some revolting songs by men and no one says shit. But as soon as Cardi B says something, like, fuck this noise. Why is this double standard? I'm really mad about this.
Yeah, you should be. It's bullshit. So women's sexuality being oppressed is nothing new at all.
No, it's not new, but I feel like, I think it's, I don't even know what I think. Except fuck really you, CeeLo Green. How's that?
It makes it, like, honestly, the song always reminds me of that there was that song with like Kid Rock and like Little Kim back in the day. You remember that song?
Yes.
And it's like, yeah, because both of them were just being like ultra dirty and stuff, but it's like sexy and it's like it's fucking cool, like seeing both like a guy and a girl just talk like this and like in just like the dirtiest ways possible. And like that's what I thought, like Wet Ass Pussy. I was like, this is a fucking awesome song.
Yeah,
Like, what
great.
about Candy Shop? That's a fucking good song too.
Exactly.
That was some
And
filthy
or
shit
the
right there.
magic stick. Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Talking about, did people think he meant an actual, like a magic wand from Harry Potter?
In a candy store.
Wait, because I did. Is that not what he was talking
Not what he was
about?
talking about.
Wait a second, that was a dick?
Whoa, hold on a minute. Start this episode over. I've got a new topic, and it's 50 Cent's untimely lyrics.
I had a friend complaining about it, a woman on Facebook.
Don't
and I was
listen
like,
to it.
no. But she's like, because it's on the radio with altered lyrics.
What, they're playing Wet Ass Pussy on the radio?
It's altered
What do they-
lyrics.
what do
I
they
think
call
it's
it?
Is it just-
something. It's gush. I think gushy comes out. Is the word gushy? Perhaps there is a clean version, and it's
How
hilarious.
on earth is there a clean version? Is that like a joke? That's so funny.
No, there's definitely a clean version, but this is somebody that I for sure.
They can't say wet ass. They can't say
sure-
wet ass pussy on the radio. They say damp ass pussy
No,
instead.
right, slightly moist.
Yeah.
Undercarriage.
Oh, moist undercarriage. You know how much I hate that combination
I know,
of words.
it's so good. Anyway, this person that was complaining about it is definitely somebody that I listened to some rude music to when we were in junior high, like Blowjob Betty.
Blowjob Betty, great example.
Like you can't. Like, what's the difference?
Two Live Crew
What's
as a whole.
The difference.
Remember AMG?
Yeah. Bitch better have
AMG,
my
Gangsta
money.
Mac, ain't it? Whipped out my dick and all the girls fainted. 1 by 1, 2 by 2, and those who didn't fall. Come on, y'all. I rocked the backseat. Queens, remember that song?
Yeah.
I was 9 years
damn.
old when I listened to that song for the
You had
first time.
9 years old.
You had older sisters.
I had older sisters. I stole their AMG tape.
It was definitely a cassette.
Yeah, it was a tape because I'm
And I
40.
stole it from Ryan Powell.
Nice.
So we all stole the tape.
Take that. The song, what's the clean version called? Is it called Dry Ass
I think
Pussy?
it's called. No, ew, that's even worse. Ew. I think it's called WAP.
What? Well, yeah, that's what the song is
No,
called.
I know, but like I think that's all they call it. But then the song.
I have to hear the clean version. It's
Do you want me to pull it up?
No.
I kinda want
It
to.
never works when we try to
I
do
know,
this on
but
the
it's,
pod. Dude, okay, so these two girls, I did a show the other night, and the two different girls on the show. The first girl did a joke about throwing up on a guy's dick.
What happens?
Well, yes. What? Okay.
I don't know.
Again, when you do a podcast with your sister, sometimes you find out some shit you didn't need to know.
I've never thrown up on a dick.
Oh, okay.
God.
So this chick told this joke about throwing up on a dick, and then the next chick comes on stage and she's like, "That also happened to me." And then comedian,
Really?
yeah. And then
Is it a thing?
I guess. And then comedian Shane Priestley, who's been on the show, who's a gem,
A friend of the show.
comes on next and he goes, "I totally get it. I threw up on a pussy one time." And it's like, that's not the. And then he goes, and then he stops for a second, and he's like, "Now that was some wet ass pussy." So gross. So gross. And then he was like, and then she was like, "I don't remember eating corn." Like, what?
Oh my
Oh,
God! Just
damn.
stop.
That doesn't even make sense.
That's so yucky.
Big time mom edits on this episode.
Mom, don't listen to this.
Yeah, Wet Ass Pussy is a good song,
It's a
and anybody
great
who has
video.
a problem with it is a fucking prude, and people should be allowed to let people talk about sex. I am a bit prudy about it, and I get weird, and I don't really like to talk about it because I just don't, and I'm trying to be better at it. I get awkward when I talk about sex.
I don't
I'm not
care for the word pussy. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's
What do you-
I think it's a yucky word.
What's the best thing to call it?
vagina?
Yucky word.
If you're talking to a dude though, like if you and your husband were sexting,
Well,
Yeah,
that's ludicrous.
an absolutely hilarious.
Ew.
I think vagina sounds too scientific for me. I don't know if
Yeah,
I
you
could
can't.
use that.
I
You
always
can't
just
say vagina in like a.
Yeah.
I always
in like a-
I use vagina regularly.
You can't say, yeah, but you can't say it in like a sexual.
Yeah, you can.
And you can't,
I'm not
you can't say that in no one's going to listen to the wet ass vagina song.
Yeah, totally, absolutely not.
I might.
Yeah, that's a wet ass vagina.
You can't be gangster rapping vagina.
Dude,
It doesn't have the same flow.
wet
does
ass,
it?
wet ass vagina is like the country version. Like, yeah, my wet ass vagina.
Vagina.
That's like a fucking banjo playing shit.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you can't. pussy is like I don't know. What else would you say?
I don't know. It just
You don't even want to know what else you could say.
Like
there's many things. Snatch.
I'm gonna beat that snatch up.
Box.
You can't say that. You would say I'm gonna beat that pussy up. That's what you'd say. You just can't. You can't. It's same thing goes.
I'm gonna throw up a little bit.
Same
right
thing
now.
goes if you're a woman and you're trying to be sexy and you call it a penis. It's not a thing.
But dick is a better word than vagina or than pussy.
Is it?
I think so. I think I don't like words that start with the letter P.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay, maybe it's the pa.
It's the pa.
That's
Like
what you don't like. It's the popping sound.
Yeah, I don't care for P words. Maybe that's it.
It's ASMR.
It is. I hate ASMR so fucking much.
Hey, pass me a
Yeah. Like it makes my stop. Fucking stop
pass
it.
me a Pepsi. I've got pus in my
That
panties.
pussy's a hard
Ew,
word.
ew.
That's all. It hits hard.
It's too much.
Pussy hits hard indeed, Noor Kidwai. The pussy hits hard indeed.
Okay, I'm done. I hate CeeLo Green. Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck CeeLo Green. I think we could all agree with that.
You've been talking some shit about a dope ass song, so fuck you. Right on. Fuck you, CeeLo Green. You fucking rapist piece of shit.
Double standard motherfucker.
Guess we lost our Dungeon Family sponsorship.
Gnarls Barkley's not coming on anytime soon.
Right on. Shit, man. Noor, do you have anywhere to be?
No, I can stick around for a bit. Let's finish this up.
Okay, I'll do my trivial one.
Okay.
My trivial topic. It's hard. It doesn't really have like a title. It's kind of hard to say.
So he's making it up.
I guess the title would be, if I had to make it up, would be the audacity of some of these motherfuckers out here.
Didn't we already talk about this?
That sounds like it's a comedy sketch that you keep coming this week on the audacity of these motherfuckers out here.
That's what we should call this fucking podcast.
Yeah, the audacity of these motherfuckers out here would actually be a better name than the Hate Locker, to be honest.
Change it.
Okay, so I went for a bike ride the other night.
Oh, 3,000 kilometers?
No, it's just a quick 30K. But I mean, to be fair, I had already ran 5K and gone to the gym earlier in the day. I got an email from my gym today telling me that I was in the top 10 most frequent users of my gym.
Hey, Nora, have you heard of addiction switching?
Yeah, I have. At least you're on a better addiction, though. That's
true.
I don't think that's so bad, unless if you get like hit by a bus or something like that. You'll be like, fuck.
Yeah.
But we'll hope that doesn't happen.
I'm going to turn into David Goggins. Stay hard, motherfucker.
Oh, actually, yeah, Victoria's probably the best place to bike then, eh?
It's pretty good.
We got a lot of bike lanes.
It's great. Yeah, it's Bike Lane City out here. I love our mayor. She's insane, and I love her.
That's amazing.
She's making us a labyrinth of bike mazes. It's fucking wonderful.
It is a bike maze.
Yeah, more like bike maze. Hey, that's great. Okay,
carry on.
So I'm riding my
Audacity,
bike, okay,
motherfuckers.
and I'm behind this guy in his car in like just outside of downtown in an area called James Bay. It's very nice, quite quaint, near the ocean. Quite a nice place
Old
to ride your
town,
bike
old
through.
town.
Old
you
town,
may want to
Victoria.
call it.
Yeah, this guy in like one of those BMW electric BMW cars.
Yeah. They sneak up on you.
No, he was in front of me, and he just slammed on the brakes out of nowhere, and I dodged him. I braked, right? And then, so we start going again, and then he does it again.
Is he trying to make you smash in
And
the
I
back?
I actually had to skid around him the second time, and I'm fucking mad. Like, I'm like, what?
What? That
So
doesn't
I
sound like you.
Pull up next to him and look at him, and I'm like, there are other people. There's other people on the road. You can't just slam on the brakes, dude. And then I start riding off all fast, okay? And then
But he's faster in his BMW?
no, and then I had like this riding vest that I wear that has like a water thing in it, and I have my asthma inhaler in the front of it.
God, you're
and
such
so when
a
I
tool.
looked back at the guy, I went to look back at him with like one more angry look, you know, and I look back and my inhaler falls out. And then he fucking ran over my inhaler.
Oh shit!
And destroyed it, and then just drove off. And I slammed on the brakes of my bike so hard that it skidded on some gravel and flew out from under me. But I jumped off and caught it like I was John Wick. It was sick, actually, to be honest. And then
nice.
Oh
and then I go back to get the inhaler, and I'm just like fuming. And
about to have an asthma.
yeah, I'm like. No, I never have to use it anymore,
weird.
which is nice. It's almost like I quit smoking like 3 years ago. And then
Weird.
so there's a postal worker right there, this guy, and he looks at me, and as I'm picking up like the the part that's not destroyed, like just the casing of the inhaler got destroyed. The actual medicine part is fine. So I go back to, I'm bent down to pick it up, and I'm like, fuck, and I look over at this mailman to be like, can you believe this guy just like stopped in the middle of the road? And the mailman dude is like, that's karma. And I'm like, for what? And he's like, well, when you get mad and you get more mad and more mad, more bad things happen to you. And now look at your thing is broken.
Oh my God, he's right.
And I was like, you fucking motherfucker. How dare you be correct in this situation? Because he was totally right. And I just was like, God damn it. And I just sort of went back to my bike and was like, man, I just got owned so hard because I did not.
By a mailman.
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with being a mailman? By a fucking lowly mailman.
Scum of the earth. Scum of the earth.
The audacity of that motherfucker.
The audacity of that motherfucker.
Do you want me to make it a little bit worse?
Yeah.
You were clearly tailgating him if you had to slam on your brakes that hard. And it would have been 100% your fault if you hit him.
Maybe I was.
You are. If you were the one that hit somebody from behind, you are 100% at fault.
Especially if I'm on
what.
A bicycle, hey?
So on multiple levels, you have the audacity.
Dan, are you the motherfucker with the audacity?
You are.
Nor, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. I'm almost always the motherfucker. So here's the other thing that happened. That happened. The mailman was correct. I was out of hand. I calmed down pretty quickly. I kind of had a laugh about it after. I'm like, oh, I'm such a fucking idiot. And also I yelled at an old man. Like, what kind of a jerk yells at an old man? Yeah.
Well, he's probably rich if he had an electric BMW.
You know what? You know what? The whole thing, it's not so bad. He was just doing his best. He was probably looking for an address. You know what I mean? So then the other thing that happened was that night later on in the evening, I'm leaving my house. I live also in a quaint part of Victoria. I walked down to the busy road, Fort Street, it's called. It just leads into downtown. I'm on my way in to do my fantasy football draft. And oh no, I gotta tell. I don't
want to talk about your fantasy football.
Oh, it's incredible. So
it's not.
So I start walking, and I'm walking past this lady, and I'm talking to my mom on the phone and my AirPods. Which, by the way, today I jumped in a river with my AirPods in. They still work.
Why did you do that?
Oh no, they're in my pocket.
Really?
They're in my pocket.
You're dumb.
Yeah, I had a moment today. Anyway, I walk by this lady, and I'm talking on the phone, like, you know, and she looks over at me, and she goes, shh. And I'm like, I look back at her, and we're crossing paths, like we're not walking together, like she's just walking past me.
Like the opposite direction.
Yeah. And so I look back at her, and I'm like, what? And I'm like, I'm on the phone, and she goes, I know, I don't need to hear your conversation. And I was like,
that's a little offside.
Yeah, I was like, I said, are you fucking serious, lady? And then she just sort of stared at me for a second, and then I told her to get a grip.
You're really angry.
I was lit up. I've been in the comment section a lot in the last few days. And it fires me up. Anyway,
fires you up.
For the first time, I'm more restrained than you, because usually I'm a spaz. And yesterday I went for a hike in the wilderness around Thetis Lake. If you're from Victoria, it's nice. It's quiet. It's a wooded path around a lake, and the lady in front of me was on her phone. On speakerphone, no earpods, so you can hear for like 10 minutes. I'm like, is this fucking happening?
What were they talking about?
COVID and being nervous about going out during COVID. I'm like, I can't even pass you. Like, this is fucking ridiculous.
That's awesome.
And but you know what? I didn't say shit. I just carried on.
Yeah. How mad were you though?
I was pretty irritated.
Wouldn't it be better to just gently say something?
No. But it wouldn't have made any difference.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
It's not going to change.
The audacity of these motherfuckers.
Motherfuckers.
The audacity
have you had any run-ins in the big cities, Noor?
Oh yeah, fucking yeah, like not during the lockdown though. That's like the one good thing about being in the big city during the lockdown is like you go outside and there's like so many less people that there's not a lot of motherfuckers with audacity. It's nice.
It's coming back though.
Just some regular ass people.
Just some regular dicks.
And honestly, like I remember when I was in Toronto, like right after the pandemic started, and so this was like right when you're supposed to start wearing masks in the like transit. So I was like, all right. So I went into this transit, and there's this like some dude just like sitting there, obviously sick. Like you can just look at him, he just looks like shit, and just like you're like, oh my god, like and like they had no mask on, and then he just kept coughing into his fucking like arm and stuff, and sometimes he would just cough like straight out, and you're just like, I was just like,
nice.
this motherfucker.
The audacity of this motherfucker.
Yeah, this one. Yeah, and I remember just like walking off the bus. I'm like, all right, you go. And I remember looking at the poor bus driver, and I was like, this dude's just coughing, and he's just like, I hate my life. It's like, fuck.
He's like, why aren't they banging pots and pans for me at 7:00?
Yeah, no kidding. It's fucking. That was bad. That was bad.
That would be a really bad job, being a bus driver.
Do you think so?
I think you'd just deal with fucking assholes all the time.
Yeah, but you probably also deal with super nice people who, you know what the worst part I think about being a bus driver would be, though, is getting stuck talking to people who take the same route every day, and that one of your loops is going to be spent talking to some weird person about, like, how they can't drive to work,
Zeitgeist.
They have a DUI. Or about Zeitgeist, yeah. You're going to be stuck talking to somebody about QAnon on the bus.
Yeah, they need plexiglass barriers.
They must have them.
Like a little box.
I think they have them now, at least in Toronto, which is nice.
Yeah, COVID's probably the best thing that's happened to these bus drivers because they can just tell people that they have to go sit down.
Yeah, no standing.
Yeah, maybe.
Put on your and then you're like, maybe. I can't hear you with your mask on. Sorry.
Yeah. Sir, you're gonna have
stop
to sit
talking.
down. Anyway, you want to go next, Noor?
Yeah, sure. All right, mine was this was my silly one. Do you have people that send you memes constantly, like either on like a text message or direct message or WhatsApp?
Yes.
But they keep sending you memes, but you never respond to them.
Yeah, dude.
And then for some reason they just think they should be sending you daily memes.
Yeah.
He's sitting in a room with somebody who does that right now.
Dude, is it you guys? Are you the ones?
Nor I feel like this feels the same as the first time I walked into a 12-step meeting. I'm home. Like, oh my God.
I send a lot of gifts.
How many gifts are
memes? I send a lot of memes.
Do you just how many?
I love memes.
Nor do you think people do this to you because you're a comedian?
Oh, maybe. I love memes. It's just like, it's weird when like somebody sends it to you, but you're not even responding to them.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. Like if somebody's like, the memes that I love is when I get like a meme from a friend every once in a while, and you're like, fuck yeah, that's hilarious. And you usually tell them like, that was a hilarious meme.
Yeah,
and
man.
they're like, yeah. So like, if you have more hilarious memes, please send them my way. I would love for that. But like, I have my one cousin who I love the dude to death. He is like my fun cousin, but he sends me. And some of these memes are just absolutely disgusting. Like, I don't know, Sarah, if women do this as much as men, but like every guy has like a guy friend who like fucking sends them the most disgusting, like just memes of like dirty shit. Like usually it's like half porn, but it's not like porn. It's more of like porn. Just naked disgustingness. You know what I'm saying?
My husband gets those a lot.
Your husband is a guy who loves that,
and I know, and then he shows them to me, and I don't want to see them.
Oh, look at this, babe, dude.
It's a horse stick, and you're just like, oh, damn.
Right?
Because I have friends, like I pretty much, I'm in a group chat with two guys who I worked with, and I wake up to memes from them every day. And I love them. They're the best. I know that if they're putting something in there, it's gold. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's a good meme relationship. That's a strong meme relationship right there.
Yes, a good meme relationship. It's a give and take. You want a give and take meme relationship.
Exactly.
I have a friend, my friend Kyle Lippert, as a friend of mine from Twitter, during the quarantine, sent me his best quarantine memes every 2 days, and it was great. I loved them. It was a great. Remember when Wood made his big comeback? The big naked guy with the dick.
Oh, when that was solid.
Yeah, he sent me his Wood content like every day, and it was great. I loved it. But I have people who I don't really know anymore, like people from when I knew from like my early 20s or like even teen years, or like people who send me, exactly. Like there was one guy who used to send me porn. Like not porn, but like here's a 2-minute video of different chicks taking their boobs out.
It's weird.
And I'm like, I don't want that at all. And it's very weird that you saw that video and thought of me. Why did you see that video and think of me? It's
weird.
It's real weird.
And that's exactly it. And honestly, the one thing, I have an Android phone. I don't know if this works with iPhones, but for some reason, when people send me these kind of video memes on like WhatsApp, that meme like automatically goes into my gallery.
Yes.
Mine,
So
that
looks
happens
like it's
on mine
part
too.
of one of my videos. Like then if I go and like look through my pictures and I'm like sitting with somebody, it's like I go like, oh, let me show you this picture, and they like go and look on my phone and this fucking video pops up. I'm like, oh,
Yeah, it's like some
Sorry.
brutal. It's like some brutal all lives matter like racist ass fucking video, and they're like, Noor, you realize you're a person of color, right? I mean, this is yeah, man. I definitely experience one-sided meme relationships that are not great. And like I have friends. I've talked about this on here before. I have friends where if I get a video from them, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be good. Like I know this is gonna be good. But there are others where I'm just like, you get a message from them and you're like, this is gonna be a nightmare. I don't want this.
this is gonna be gross.
I don't like this stop. Yeah.
My son is a meme addict, but generally they involve SpongeBob. Like all of them. They all involve SpongeBob, and he sends them to me really regularly.
Yeah, he's getting gross ones too. You just don't know about him.
I check his phone every day. I know exactly what he's getting. In fact, he just got his phone back after a 3-month absence.
For what?
I can't talk about it on this podcast.
Uh-oh. Did you discover the hub?
I don't want to talk about it on this podcast.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. That's fine. We can talk. We can save that for another day.
Save it for when he's older.
All right,
and I'm over it.
We've kept Noor for 15 extra minutes. Why don't you hit us with your last
mine's easy, and it kind of goes back to what we were talking about. You know, on Facebook, when you hold down the like button and it gives you the row of emojis to pick, where the fuck is the eye roll one?
Yeah.
Because I would use that approximately 200 times a day. Like, fuck you. I don't want to care. I don't want to heart. I don't want to laugh. I don't want to angry. I want to roll my goddamn eyes at your stupid ass fucking comment.
That's interesting. That would add like a whole nother dynamic to posting shit.
They just added the care one, which no one uses.
Also, give me the coffin emoji.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know, because I just like it.
The coffin one? The which one?
Yeah, imagine you could just add a coffin emoji onto somebody's post
dumb.
for no reason. I don't know. I think it'd be
if you're gonna, that wouldn't be in my top 5 that I would pick. The care needs to go because it's the same as the heart.
What's in your top 5 emojis right now?
Oh, I don't want to tell you.
What do you guys have? What's in your Noor? What's in your top 5? What are your top 5 emojis?
Like
currently?
When you put in predictive text. Okay, mine's the heart, the smiley face with the hearts around it. The angry face.
That's a fun one.
The angry face with the red eyes.
Yeah.
The regular happy face.
Boring.
The sideways cry face. And a turkey.
Yeah.
And then the turkey.
I think a better question might be, what are like... Yeah, okay, no. I got a heart, the thank you prayer hands, the double high five, the 100 emoji, and the shrug. But the coffin is just on the cusp. I use the coffin a lot.
I've got the fist pump. And the one of the girl going. I use that
the shrug?
a lot.
Yeah, the shrug.
Oh, yeah, the shrug.
The shrug one is very important.
It got bumped out by the turkey.
Noor, do you have any weird ones in your most used?
Not weird ones. I do love the fucking fist pump. I throw up a brown fist pump, and it's like,
yes,
there you go, fucking there. I don't know. I find that cool.
It is cool. The fist pump is definitely on my list.
I like the fucking emoji with the sunglasses, like the cool. You know, like cool I don't know. Sometimes I just toss that on there.
Dude, you know what the worst is? I don't know if you guys do this, but to get the emoji you want, do you ever type in the word?
No.
And then the emoji pops up
that
and you
happens?
just hit it? You can do it on Apple, yeah.
It's new. It's on the, yes. Like, you mean like it'll
if I want to send
replace
a heart,
your text?
If I want to send a heart emoji, I can type out the word heart and then the emoji pops up and I just click on the emoji
It does it for everything, like knife and
knife is great.
Yeah.
Yeah. A knife is also in my most used, which is messed up.
Oh, damn.
Anyway.
Knife and coffin? What are you fucking texting people about?
I'm a cool guy, man. You don't know what goes on.
Weird as fuck.
Anyway, it's the worst when you type out like the word. I'll type out the word coffin and then just accidentally send the word coffin.
And then everyone's just like, "Jeez, this guy's sadistic."
Yeah, they're like, "Why is he sending it? What do you mean coffin?" And I'll be like, "Sorry, that was meant for someone else." Like that's okay. Like,
I do that a lot when I'm searching a GIF.
Yeah.
And then I just send what I've searched.
So
stupid.
Like Michael Jackson dangling his baby off a balcony. Yeah. Oh shit! Why did I write
that? That wasn't for you.
Yeah, Chris Pratt mouth open.
Honestly, though, Sarah, this freaking this like eye roll emoji to like able to put that on people's posts. I think that's like I think that's a great idea because I think that would like change the way people post. Because like, think about if you're posting stuff and you're getting like 20 eye rolls and other people are seeing that. Like, that's gonna change some posting habits.
You might, or
Mark Zuckerberg, if you're listening,
he's not. Well, yeah, someone who works for him is.
I think he's listening. Yeah. We'll get it up that Facebook corporate ladder. That idea will be there.
Yeah, that's right.
They'll call it their own idea. Fuckers.
Yes, that is true.
The other thing that could happen, though, too, is that the eye roll emoji could invoke more rage and thus making your less trivial topic nor come even on more full on. That could be a thing.
That is true.
Be worth it.
That's like the shitty thing about how fucking these companies work.
Yeah, I'm totally with you on that. I do think we need an eye roll emoji as well. I'm with you on that 100%.
I do just reply to people's comments. Like, when you hit reply and their name comes up and then just throw in the eye roll emoji. Yeah. That also infuriates people, which is really fun.
That's nice. Yeah. See? Oh, we're not feeding off this. This is fine. Everything's great. Everything's going
totally normal.
So I want to talk about one last thing before we go.
What?
A really funny thing that happened.
Is this really funny or is it
I think so. It's so I posted something on the show's social media. I posted a picture of a car that I was in front of in traffic, and it had, I believe, 4 different stickers on it about rescue dogs and loving dogs. And I was like, this is whack. This is too many stickers about dogs, and I need to put this on the social media. So I took a picture and I posted it on. And then about 8 hours later, I got a message back on our social media from one of our followers. Her name is Heather. And she wrote back, "This is my car."
Oh, are you fucking kidding me? That's amazing.
I posted a picture of one of our fans of our show's car onto our social media, and they saw our social media post and was like, "What the fuck, man?"
That's amazing.
And then it turned out to be my sponsor's girlfriend.
Even weirder.
The layers kept going.
It's Victoria. That's how it happens. Victoria's a fucking weird ass pussy.
Yeah. Weird. It's Victoria's a weird ass pussy. It's a weird ass pussy town.
Weird ass pussy town. Yeah.
You want a wet ass pussy, not a weird ass pussy.
Yeah. Hey, fucking Victoria is a wet ass pussy as well.
Yeah, it's true. It's a real whap of a town. Eh? It is a whap. Started using it all wrong. Anyway, shout out to Heather. We're sorry that.
Sorry we made fun of your car.
Sorry we made fun of your car on the old program. The old program, the story.
The social media.
She's going to be listening to the show all the time now. I would. That would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, I guess so, right? That's pretty fun.
Maybe we just need to offend people to get listeners.
Yeah, we need an eye roll emoji on our own. All right. So at the end of the show, Noor, you get to choose whose hate is the most warranted today. Mine or my sister's, and then we all kind of pick one. So if we go back over our topics, my topics were the audacity of these motherfuckers out here, and also
stupid,
and also the anti-harm reduction narrative.
Can I just interject for a minute? I feel like it's hard to vote now that we've taken a bit of a serious.
Yeah, that's
stance.
True. What if we just use the fun ones?
Because how do you not vote? I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard not to vote for harm reduction.
Yeah, like you look like a real piece of shit if you don't. Yeah. All right. Let's just go with the trivial ones then. That's a good point.
I'm just saying. It's bothered me the last couple ones that we've done.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's kind of awkward.
No. I totally agree with you. All right. Okay, so mine was the audacity of these motherfuckers out here.
But see, my serious one was funny. Fuck you, CeeLo Green.
This is your own rule.
I know. Mine was, I don't even remember. What
we just talked about it. It's the eye roll.
Oh yeah, the eye roll emoji. That was mine.
Jesus.
And CeeLo Green.
Fuck you. Mine was the bad meme relationship.
Oh yeah. I know which one I'm picking. You go ahead, Noor.
I'm gonna go with. I just love that eye roll one.
Yeah.
I'm loving the eye roll emoji.
I'm
gonna go with that one.
That's fair.
I'm picking it too.
Yeah, you can't pick your own. Get out of here.
It's unanimous.
Oh man, I'm definitely picking the bad meme relationship.
Yeah, that's actually what I'm going to pick.
Have you been sending me memes for months and I haven't replied to you? I don't like the content you're sending me.
This makes me want to send you more.
Adjust.
Thank you.
No, you send me good.
Exactly it.
Sarah, you send me good stuff.
Hey, do you know what I just realized?
What?
What if we are the sole reason that Warrack is getting so many views on social media.
We're not.
We've turned a lot of people onto Warrack.
Nora, are you familiar with Warrack?
I have not heard of
Oh,
Warrack.
Nor. Oh, we're about to fucking open your eyes.
Waraq. And for those listeners not familiar with Warrack,
You need to sort your shit out.
Like
surprise rap.
Just
Surprise rap.
If you like backyard white guys rapping off their phones with zero rhythm or beats
Or skill.
or
Talent.
who make upsetting videos with many reoccurring themes, including a man who jumps out of hiding places when it's his turn to rap.
And just when you think you figured him out, he surprises you.
They're quite good at that.
That's the only thing they're good at.
Like that's their best skill is jumping out of different hiding
Oh,
places.
100%.
Yeah, if you're not familiar with Warrack,
They're Rhode Island's best backyard rappers.
Rhode Island. That's where you want to get your rappers from.
yeah. Oh man!
Shout out to White Mamba
Shout out to White Mamba of
and
Warrack.
Hammer Time.
He's the same guy.
Is it?
Yeah,
Oh,
he
that's
just
what I
says
wasn't
it's
sure.
Hammer. So, this is a pro Warrack podcast from now on.
Oh, yeah.
we will
Nice.
we will get Warrack on the show.
I try. You said no to me when I said I wanted
I
Warrack.
think I changed my mind. I think I want Warrack on the show.
Oh, what if they find
Get
out we're making
Warrack.
fun of them?
That sounds like an amazing episode.
Yeah, right. Totally.
What if they find out we're making fun of them and they throw hammers
I'm sorry.
at us?
Like Mario Brothers. All right.
That's it.
Nor, do you have anything you'd like to plug? Where can we find you on social media? You should definitely follow Nor on social media. The videos he makes are fantastic. Where can people find you? Where can they see you?
Well, on Facebook it's Noor Kidwai Comedian, and on Instagram it's at Noor Kidwai. So those are the best spots. My podcast is God Yay or Nay. It's going to be on the same podcast label, which is going to be awesome. And I don't know if anybody is listening from Calgary. I'm going to be doing a big theater show with me and my some of the best comics in Calgary, just because I'm back here for the month. So we rented out a theater on September 26th.
Oh, that's great.
It's
Who
a
else is on the
Saturday.
show?
It's Chris Gordon, Burrito
yes.
Lopez,
Yes.
and Brittany Lysing.
Oh, that is a great lineup. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yes.
Yeah. Brittany Lysing also on the label.
There you go.
Her as an artist, as a comic. We did her album.
Mm-hmm.
She's very funny. She's great. That's a fantastic lineup. Chris Gordon is a treasure.
And all these guys are either from Calgary or they're just here because of the pandemic. So we're renting out this theater, and we're still doing social distancing and everything. So it'll be a safe show, and we're gonna try to fill it up as much as the province lets us. And it's gonna be a fun show, and I think a lot of people are gonna come out, and it's gonna be an awesome lineup. So please, if you're in Calgary, check it out.
That's great. Right on, Nora.
Wicked.
That's awesome, man. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Nora, for joining us today. This has been great.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah,
This has been awesome.
I
really
feel like
fun.
I was a little fired up today. I'm sorry I talked over everybody.
It's okay. You just were a
No,
little
we
serious.
love it.
Thanks.
Well, let's not get
Thanks,
ahead of
Nora. No,
ourselves
that's
here.
good. Thanks, North. That's good enough. We don't need to explore that at all. Everything's fine. I guess I'll tell you about my fantasy football draft another time, I guess.
Yeah, no one gives a
Sorry.
fuck
yeah,
about your
it's a
fantasy
weird-
football. Oh, except, am I still winning our hockey pool?
I don't know, man. I sucked. I lost all my
I was
players.
in second place yesterday.
I lost all my players, so I stopped paying attention. I didn't give a shit.
Who was in your hockey pool, Sarah?
Oh, yeah.
What teams did you pick?
Oh, I'm
no,
mostly.
it's players.
It's players.
And also, before, go ahead. Tell them your players. What players do you
I'm
have?
not 100% sure.
yeah. You know why she's not 100%
'Cause I
sure?
didn't
Because
pick.
somebody else picked her fucking team for her. That's why.
Was it you?
No, I do.
I'm worse.
No,
My
I've
team
got-
is so bad.
I've got some good players.
I lost like 9 players in the first.
But I'm
round.
going to lose a bunch tonight, probably, because I got a bunch of Canucks.
We're so bad at signing this podcast.
I know.
Dude.
Sorry. I'll
No,
stop
you're
talking.
totally good.
No.
I am gonna when the way that we decide our fantasy football draft order. Last year, we showed up to the pub where we do it, and Buddy, who runs it, is like, take these names out of a hat, and we pull out these weird names out of a hat. There's 10 names, and he's like, turns around to the screen and turns it on, and he's like, Gentlemen, we are watching the 1989 Kentucky Derby. You've been assigned a horse.
That's amazing.
I know. And he's like, whatever the order of the race is will coincide with the names we've pulled, thus giving us our draft order. How fun is that? So this year, this year we got there and we pulled names out of a jar or whatever, and they're all 90s wrestlers' names. And then we're like, oh my God, this is amazing. And he's like, gentlemen, we are watching the 1991 Royal Rumble. Last man in gets first pick. And it was so much fun.
I fucking love wrestling.
That sounds great.
It was a blast. I had Tino Santana, so I got like 8th pick, which is not great. Thinking about calling my team Tino Santanas.
Oh, that's so lame.
I know, right?
Did you hear The Rock
got COVID?
Yeah, his whole family.
Yeah, he knew he had it when he couldn't smell what he was cooking anymore.
I read that on Twitter.
Is that what he
you
said?
Just stole someone's joke.
No, everybody thought of that joke immediately. Are you kidding?
I didn't. I laughed out loud when I read it, though.
That's a great joke.
Yeah, that's not immediately the first thing I said.
His family couldn't smell what he was cooking.
Yeah, it's like, that's the joke, right? That's the obvious. I didn't tweet it because it's like, this is going to get tweeted 100,000 times.
It did. Yeah. And I laughed 100,000 times.
Yeah.
See my Hulk Hogan tweet?
No.
Oh.
I don't follow you on Twitter. Just kidding.
Hulk Hogan having sex with his wife. I'm close, brother.
Okay, we got to sign off. We've been on here too long.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Sarah.
Oh, holy shit.
Whoa.
Sarah closing out the podcast.
I've had enough.
You want to do it one more time?
Dinner. Hey, I'm Sarah.
I'm Dan. You fucked up.
What am I? I don't know what to say now. This has been the Hate Locker podcast.
This has been the Hate Locker podcast with Noor Kidwai. Say goodnight, Noor.
Good night, guys.
We've never done that before. I don't know why.
I don't know why you said that. Was super weird and awkward.
Felt right. All right. This has been the worst sign off we've ever done by far. Noor, it's been awesome, man. Thank you so much for this.
Thanks, guys. This was so much fun.
Thank you, everybody at Comedy here, often behind the scenes, helping out as always. And thank you to Grossbuster for our theme song. And thank you, Marcel, for keeping us sane. Love you, buddy. Love everybody. Have a great night.
Woo.